I guarantee you haven't seen a video like this before. Pay close attention. I'm going to show you how to self-host N8N, but I'll show you how to fix the webhook problem that no one shows you. I'll show you how to fix up the memory problem so when it restarts you don't lose everything that no one shows you. And I'll show you how to update N8N because they always have updates, new features available, and you need to update your self-hosting service. So pause, pay attention. It's only going to be a short video, but you're going to have massive value in this. And it's only going to cost you $7 rather than N8N's $26 per month. So a bunch of value because you know I love AI and I want to help people sell AI and make a sustainable business from it. So I'm going to help you today. So come with me as we go through this awesome video. So just really quickly, why this video is important and different than all the other ones. I'm going to show you how to set it up so you don't lose data when the instance reset or when you log out. That actually a lot of other videos don't show you. I'm going to show you how to set it up so it gets updates and in updates when updates available, because it's always going to be cool new features and I'm sure they're going to add a ton more things. And then probably one of the most important things, if you've set one of these up before, if you try to add webhooks, you'll see the webhook address says local host and you get stuck with this. If you're gonna do webhooks, which a lot of you probably will because it's an incoming webhook, it's really, really good and that's what we use a lot of scenarios for, then you need to watch this because you'll need this for your automation to work. So not only that, it's only going to be about $7, maybe $7.50 a month versus the normal $26 that N8N usually charge. And then just again quickly, it's not going to be a lesson on N8N why you should pick it, but the big three automation programs at the moment, N8N, Make, and Zapier, real popular, but we can see in Google Trends, the blue line here, N8N has really been taking off the last part of this year, especially now currently as it is. Make.com is still popular because it's got a real good pricing level. Zapier gaining a bit momentum because they've added a bunch of extra tools into Zapier as well. But you can see with the pricing, N8N is £20, comes to about $26 for your basic plan. Yes, Make.com is a little bit cheaper, but I really think the functionality of N8N is extremely surpasses that of Make. And in Zapier, obviously a bit different pricing, different structure, but also expensive if you come up to the normal plan on it. So I'll show you how we're going to set this up so you can host this for yourself and only have this running for about $7 a month, which is really awesome to have N8N, especially now in these days. But these three things is what you're going to learn different. So let's get into this. Just one last thing. I asked Gemini Research to do a deep research into N8N and Make.com and it spat out a massive document. I'll leave the link below, but really good if you're into reading things. But let's get into it. So first things, you're just going to come to Google and we are going to look up render. Now it should come up with render.com and we're just going to click on this one. So while this is open, we're just going to come to the next Google document and we are going to look up the N8N image Docker. So just have that in there and we'll come back to that. So all you need to do in here is quickly register yourself. So registration is free, but you can see kind of the pricing in here, but this is not what we're going to pay. We're going to pay something different. So I'm going to sign in and we're just going to use our Google address to sign up. All right, so all I've done is I've signed up with my Gmail account and you'll be greeted with a screen like this. So we'll go out and we'll create a web service. Click in here. Now, if you've built all these out yourself, go ahead, probably not the video for you, but what we want to do is just come in here to existing images. Now, Docker is just a way of creating images, creating servers from an actual image that's pre-configured and ready to deploy, set up in a specific way. Now, if we've looked up N8N image Docker, you would see, spelled that wrong, but you come up to the first hub in here and you click on this first image. N8N has already built out a pre-existing system for us. So all we need to do is scroll down and we're going to find this URL. Okay, hit Control C and we're going to come in here and we're just going to paste it down in here. You'll see it will load in here and we're just going to hit connect. So that's just the image file it's going to download and load onto our server for us. So we can just create a new project, give the project a name, N8N server, and N8N server. So we're going to create a project. So a couple of more things to come in here. You can choose your region depending wherever is closest to you. I'm just going to go with the default one. So this is the different tiers, and this is what I mean and what we're going to pay for. So the starter plan is going to be good enough if you're going to start up, and you might be able to do 1 or 2 clients. If you don't know much about computers, all it says is it's got a really small amount of RAM, and you're going to share half a CPU virtual systems into it. All these don't really have to make a lot of sense for you, but what you want to build up is probably something in here with the $25 a month if you get there. And again, when we come into N8N pricing, you'll see it is pretty much compared with the basic plan in here, £20. To convert it comes to $26. But very similar in here if you're going to actually have a couple more clients. But starter is going to be $7 a month. Free, the word free might be attractive. Do not use this simply because you can't connect a hard drive in here. And now remember, I'm going to show you these 3 things. Being able to update your system and not to lose data means we're going to have to connect a hard drive, and you don't have this in here. So you can set up the hobby project, but once you hit the reset button, sign out, it's going to get lost. All your data is going to be gone. Okay, so don't worry about that. We're going to hit this in here, and environment variables we're going to get back to soon. You'll see what it is, and you don't need to worry about the rest of these things in here. And we're just going to hit deploy service. And all I'm going to do is I'm going to quickly obviously fill in my details in here, and I'll get back to you. So I've filled in my servers, and then it's going to start building it out. So all we have to do is just give it about 5 minutes, and you'll see when it's all done. And I'll just leave it run, and I'll pause the video, and we'll get back to you when all this is finished. Alright, so you know it's done when it shows this part. And here, a little green arrow says your service is live. And all you need to come and do is click on this little in here. We're going to copy this. We're going to come to a new page, and we're going to paste that right in there. And this is going to connect to the service, and all I'm going to do is I'm going to quickly fill this out as well. So I'm going to hit the pause button again, and all I'm going to do is fill in some login details. Alright, once that's done, it's going to load for a little while, and then we're just going to fill in some basic onboarding stuff, software as a service. We are going to be a business owner, myself, listen to any people, how did we hear about it, Google. So get started. Get a couple of cool offers, limited offer. Definitely have this. Receive a free activation key for activating features below, workflow history. Really good to have, really good to have, really good to have. Just make sure you have your email address in there. So send me a license key. And your license key is on the way. So that's almost just about it, right? So if we go here from scratch, I'll show you what I mean in here. I'm going to add a workflow in here, and obviously it's going to be Webhook. And you'll see in here, when you have a webhook in here, it says localhost. So localhost just means the URL in here to connect to is just only if you have a local computer. Localhost, it doesn't have a name. If you're going to put that in anywhere else, sending webhooks to this is where the problem is going to come in. And I'll show you next how we're going to fix this. Add a hard drive, which I probably should have done before adding that license key, but that's alright. We'll see how that goes after this. So stick with me while we now go and add some more stuff to it. So to set up the environmental variables, we're just going to come back to your render, and we're going to make sure you're in here on your server. We're going to come to environment variables. And all that means is that we're going to set up some variables for the server to remember the name instead of localhost. This is what it needs to be, so you can connect back to this from outside the internet. And we're going to set the protocol to HTTPS, just means it's going to be secure, so we don't get little dangerous alerts like this. So what we're going to do is we're just going to add a new environmental variable. And now this is important, so pause this for a second if you want, but this needs to be correct, exactly filled in like this. No spaces like I had in there, so nothing else to the side, and I'm just going to put an HTTPS. Then we're going to add another environmental variable, and we're going to call this the webhook URL. So again, type this out exactly like this. Make sure there's no spaces at the front, no spaces at the end. Remember the underscore, remember the capitals. And what you need to do is you're just going to copy this and add this in here. So all this just does is it takes out the, no, it's gone away now. It takes out the local host, in here, and we're going to replace it with actual listening to the actual URL, and it's going to be HTTPS, like I said. So once we're done with this, we're just going to hit save and deploy. Now, this is all good, this is all awesome, but by default, when it's set up, we need to add a hard drive to this. We need to add some sort of storage. So once we do all these things, once we add some things in here, that just means that it's going to be saved. So by default, Render doesn't save things because you don't add a hard drive to your device, and just adding a hard drive is a little bit extra. So I'll quickly show you that next, and that's by coming down to disks. Alright, once you come to disk space, you see that you kind of go out and add a disk, but there is a small charge to it, just the extra data that gets added. So the more you have, the more you'll pay per month, and it's pretty small, so 25 cents per gigabyte per month. That's not much. So what we're going to do is just add a small hard drive to it, and all we're going to say 1 gigabyte in here. And now this is important as well, so this needs to be exactly again like I have in here. I'm going to come in here, I'm going to hit the copy, and I'm going to just need to pause the screen and write this out exactly. No spaces in the end, no capitals. Need to remember that little dot in here, and all this says that in that N8N image that we have, there's an actual folder. It's Linux or Unix format. It says home node N8N is where the shared drive is going to be. So every time it adds or you change data, it needs to save it into here. Okay, so as easy as that, and you can just add the 1 gigabyte, and then Render will tell you when the space is running out, but that's all you need for now for a basic for starting out. It's really as easy as that, and it's going to add the disk. Just give it a couple of seconds, it's going to work through, and nice. So disk added, everything's in here ready to go, and all you have to do in here is just deploy latest reference, and it's going to just click that for a second. And the last part, so we've added our 3 problems. Let me come in here, bring this back up. Our 3 problems are things that makes us different. We have added a database or a drive for it, so you keep your data when you reset. And we've fixed the webhook problem, which I'll show you now that it's fixed with those environmental variables. But now we need to make sure that it updates regularly, and I'll show you how we do that next. Right, so you're just going to come back to events, click on events, and it's pretty much actually all done by just clicking that actual deploy button. But we're just going to go again, deploy latest reference, and that is how you start doing the updates, because now, and I'll show you the log like this that I've just done, so we actually have the shared drive in it. So When I go to deploy the manual, it's just going to see it's just going to restart our server again. And I'll just give it a couple of minutes. Again, it takes 2 to 3 minutes just to go through it and reset. And I'll show you the log and what I meant by our hard drive. So now it has that capability of doing updates. In fact, here it comes. So see how it now has those extra parts in here, and we know that we can edit and change things, and we know that it actually loads to this disk space that we have here. All right, so it's in here. We have our disk space that's connected now, and it's now able to do updates for you. So great, we've added all those things in together. So let's go through to events. It's gone redeployed, and when we come back in here, that's all good. And what we're just going to do is just reconnect this real quick. So we're going to delete all that. We're going to paste that back in there. We've hit the HTTPS sign, and nice. So all it did now is it just resetted everything for us and was saved up on our server. So when it restarts the server, it obviously didn't save it because we didn't have the hard drive to it. So what I'm just going to do is quickly re-register. So just give me a second. So I've hit the re-register button. I've come back in here, and I've just redone this, and I'm just going to send me a new link. And hopefully we get the new link, but let me show you these part of things in here. And we're going to come in here, and we're going to create a new trigger. It's going to be webhook. And you'll see in here, it's now changed the URL. So anyone from the outside can now connect to this webhook. So hitting this, I'm just going to say this one is going to be tester. And that is it. So I'm just going to come back in here, hit one back. Tester is in here. So what I'm going to do just to show you the proof of this. So earlier on when we reset it, you saw how we had to reconnect to it. So we're just going to come in here and we're going to manually restart the service. Once it's restarted, I'll come back, log in again, and we should have that back in there. So I've just hit the restart button in here and it's restarted for us. So it's up, ready to go. And all I'm going to do is I'll close all these for you so you can see in here, and I'll paste it in here for us. And there we go. We don't obviously have to register again. And our actual previous build little scenarios in there. And that is pretty much it. It's as easy as that. So I just want to bring this back up again. Really hope you like this scenario. As I said, a lot of other videos in here, but this just shows you extra bits in it. Really affordable, I think, for $7 a month, and N8N is definitely the way to go at the moment. I'm not going to go through a bunch of features and advances in it, but really check that out, and I really think it's super, super useful. If you like these kind of things, obviously check out my channel. It's got heaps of awesome extra videos, but I also have this real cool AI agency, voice AI agency school build out specifically for automations and specifically for voice AI. And you'll see the classroom is absolutely packed with information. There's pre-course things, there's a whole training on how to set up your own agency that you can run and sell these kind of things in as little as 5 days to set it up. We've got high-level basics, we've got high-level voice AI, we've got a total VAPI system, if you're familiar with VAPI, a total SynFlow system, a total voice AI retail system, and all of these, and 11 labs for connecting it to a website, all of these have N8N modules for automations built into it. And then if you want the old make, there's some make stuff in here, website chatbots, cold email systems, scraping, creating sub accounts for clients, SMS functions, creating offers, like a total mentorship program to get you launched and get you ready to sell AI to businesses and actually make money. And if you come in here, you'll see the about is full of great value because you get unlimited high-level accounts and sub-accounts. You get a SMS system, you get 10 email boxes. I got about 100 high-level specific niches for you to load up. I got a massive agency snapshot for you, so you can sell anything from smart websites to voice systems to automations like this. And yeah, really great. It's 180 odd videos. It's really amazing. It's a small group. I'm keeping small, only small, so it's more personalized, and you can see I'm actually just smashing extra details every day. Like, I'm real involved in this. So hope you like this. N8N, awesome. Render, awesome. And yeah, let's go forth and conquer the world with AI. So thanks for watching.